So thank you for coming. So for the last, I would say, 5 to 10 years, we have heard several times that, okay, Java EE is dead. Maybe, maybe not. I have good news that we have something new. We have a future for Java EE that's called Jakarta EE, and that's my topic today. And another good news, even, so who was there at the previous talk? No? Okay, because he was explaining open source is bad. So the good news is that Jakarta EE is open source. So, and it's good. So where does it come from? So it was announced at Java 1 last year by Oracle, IBM, Red Hat, and others. And it was announced that Java EE was moving in open source and was moving in open source at the Eclipse Foundation, with the goal to be more agile, more flexible, more open, and to still stay compatible. So why do we do that? That's to help developers create portable cloud-native applications, and also to deliver faster innovation, because Java EE was maybe not moving fast enough in the last 10 years. And the fact that it becomes open source, and I will come back to that later, but everything becomes open source, including the specifications. So the fact that even the specifications become open source means that it will be faster to innovate. It will be faster to integrate new types of technologies into Jakarta EE. And finally, that lowers the barrier to participation. You no more have to start by becoming a member of an organization or filing a contract or stuff like that. That's open source. You can download. You can contribute. You can contribute more, and so that's really easy to participate. So what do we have in this new open world? So we have a new brand, because of course Java EE still exists. So the last version of Java EE is Java EE 8, and there won't be Java EE 9. But we have a new brand called Jakarta EE, and that's cool because it still makes JEE. So and this will be the future trademark, the future brand that we use now. There is a website where you can get more information, and that will be the home of Jakarta EE. Also, all the reference implementations are moving in open source. So some of them were already open source. Like, okay, you will tell me it's not new that GlassFish is open source. But GlassFish is still open source, and GlassFish moved to the Eclipse Foundation, so it will be released under Eclipse Public License v2 plus GPL license also. And so that means that 40 new projects are coming to the Eclipse Foundation, something like 200 new committers. So that's really a complete ecosystem that joins the Eclipse Foundation. So, of course, here we list just 3, but I have a longer list after in my presentation. But basically, the message is all reference implementations of Jakarta EE are open source, hosted at the Eclipse Foundation. And also the specifications become open source. So we have a new process coming up with that. So it will no more be managed by the Java community process, but we have what we call the Jakarta EE working group, and there is an open specification process. So what do we mean by open source in our context? I think that there are several large open source foundations like the Eclipse Foundation, but they all comply with 3 main best practices. So transparency is very important. It means that every decision in a project must be published on a public channel. So it means a wiki, a mailing list, a forum, something like that. Openness, it means that the project is open to everybody, whatever the affiliation, and that's really a good place to collaborate between competitors. And you will see the list of participants of the Jakarta EE working group. And guess what? There are companies competing together, but working together on this in this initiative. But that's also meritocracy. So this means that even if you are hired by, if you become an employee of a company leading a project in Jakarta EE, you have to prove that you have the skills and you manage the processes of Eclipse. So you have to start by contributing, and you do more contribution, and at some point, an existing committer will nominate you to be elected as a new committer. So I think that's okay. Maybe all of you know those rules, but that's really important to remind everybody that it's still the case with Jakarta EE. And so what is the working group about? It's about approving the specifications, because even if it's open source, we need to have some kind of regular release. We need to have a process, and users need to be able to pick a version of the specification and say, okay, I want to use this version of the specification. I develop my application for this version of the specification. So it is supposed to run on any application server that complies with this specification. The Jakarta EE working group is also managing the brand. It works collaboratively on the technical roadmap, and it ensures compatibility with open source TCKs, because the test compatibility kits are also moving in open source. And so that's something completely new. Before, when you wanted to test your Java EE implementation, you had to sign a contract with Oracle, potentially to pay to get access to this test compatibility kit. Now the test compatibility kit is moving in open source, and so it means that, for example, even users can use the test compatibility kit to check that an implementation is really compliant. It's vendor neutral, so I'm part of the team of the Eclipse Foundation, and that's one of our duties, to make sure that this ecosystem is a level playing field, and that everybody, every vendor, every member has the same rights, and it's no longer controlled by a single company. We will still have certification. So it means that software vendors who have application servers will have to run the TCKs, and they will send the results of the TCKs, and that will be one of the activities of the Eclipse Foundation. We will certify, okay, this version of WebSphere, this version of Whitefly is compliant with Jakarta EE 9 specification, for example. Well, in my title, there was also this idea of cloud-native Java. So by cloud-native Java, we also mean this kind of projects. So MicroProfile is this project hosted at the Eclipse Foundation to enable the development of microservices. OpenJ9 is also very interesting in the context of cloud native. That's the IBM Java virtual machine that was open sourced last year at Eclipse, and there are benchmarks on the website, and in the benchmarks, it's interesting that it consumes significantly less memory, and it starts significantly faster than Hotspot. So when you deploy that in a cloud environment, that's certainly worth it. And finally, Vertex is also an Eclipse project. That's our reactive development environment. So just few words about the Eclipse Foundation. Everybody knows the Eclipse IDE. I know not everybody is using the Eclipse IDE. That's not a problem. We have 350 projects, and the IDE is just 10 or 20 projects. So we have projects in IoT, in data science, in location tech, in automotive. So plenty of projects, and now more than 40 projects in about Jakarta EE. Also, we are a member-driven organization, and we have more than 270 members, and we are just 30 people in the staff. We are not the developers. The developers are most of the time employees of the members or individuals who want to contribute. So what we do with this team of 30 people is really to sustain the ecosystem. So we provide an infrastructure for collaboration, Git, Gerrit, mailing list, everything. We have process and a development process, community development, and more importantly, IP management and licensing. And the promise is that everything you download from an Eclipse server, you can use it to develop your applications, or you can even use it to create products on top of it and to sell those products under any license you want. So that's why we check every license compatibility, etc. So few words about Jakarta EE. So that's the members we have for the moment. We formally launched the initiative on April 24th. So that's 2 weeks ago. That we have all the usual, I would say, the usual suspects of Java EE application servers here. Plus, also, that's interesting certainly to notice that Pivotal is participating, because, well, when you are doing Spring, you are also using plenty of Java EE specifications. So that will become Jakarta EE specifications. Microsoft also, and also the London Java community is participating to the working group to represent the voice of the users. This year is definitely a year of transition from Java EE to Jakarta EE, and basically what's happening right now is that the teams at Oracle are working hard to move all the projects in open source. So we will have an Eclipse GlassFish 5.1 that will be Java EE 8 compatible. So that should happen this summer. And then we will create Jakarta EE 8, which will be the version compatible with Java EE. And after that, by the end of the year, we will start really improving the specification. So that's the status. So the goal is that when GlassFish reaches this line, then it means that you can download Eclipse GlassFish compatible with Java EE 8. So there's still some work, but it's making progress every week, I would say. So the main message is it's open source. You can get involved. You should subscribe to the mailing list. And that's really interesting because there are many interesting conversations on the mailing list, like should we get rid of EJBs or something like that? Well, I don't know. You can also push your company to participate, because it's not limited to software vendors. I mean that user companies can also participate. That's certainly a very interesting topic for the developers, and that's also a way to push the innovations that you need as user companies by contributing. And yes, you can contribute, and you can find more information on Jakarta EE. Finally, we have a BOF where for the moment we don't have much more to give away than stickers, but we have brand new stickers for your laptops. So come to the booth, and we also have a booth later this afternoon. So that will be definitely the place to discuss more and to have more interaction. And also, if after this conference, the next opportunity to meet with this community is in Toulouse in the middle of June. So there will be significant number of Jakarta EE and MicroProfile developers there. So join us also in Toulouse. Thanks.